What's up, guys? How's everybody doing? I hope your morning's going well. I, for some reason, haven't been able to sleep much today, and I know that I've taken a long time to get to to get to this series and to continue. I've been having a bit of a hard time in my life, which, happens to everybody. So I just wanted to, apologize for my lack of specific content, and to you guys who have been so supportive to me, and I just really want to give back to you guys for everything that you guys have done for me, all the support on Patreon, all the the views and the likes, all the kind comments on Twitter, and those of you who see me at tournaments and give me a hug or tell me that I was your inspiration. It really does mean the world to me that I could help you guys and somehow change your lives. So yeah, I just wanted to say thank you for being a viewer and for supporting me on my channel. Basically, it really means the world to me. So that being said, I will get on to covering some. Yeah, I just woke up, haven't been able to sleep, but I'm gonna make this video because otherwise I'll never do it. So in any case, let's get to it. Alright, so I'm gonna read one of the submissions I got sent a few months ago. Alright, here we go. I have to admit, this is kind of embarrassing. I have asked only 2 people in the last year about relationship advice, and they both have given either comedic or oversimplified responses. Basically, my problem is that I hate commitment with no reward. I'm not a gambler. I hate failure, so I'm always afraid that if I mess up on asking a girl out or doing the right things on dates, that I will regret it. Oh, interesting. I've technically been on 2 to 3 dates as of this year, but I believe the people I was with didn't know that they were in fact dates. Long story short, I know the basics, being nice, listening to her and what she has to say, and doing things together, but I don't know how to seal the deal. Any tips on how to make the process less awkward? Well, you ask a very good question, and something that I think everyone has had a hard time with, right? There's such a social stigma around, right? Asking somebody out and telling somebody that you like them and that you're interested in them, and then things get awkward because maybe they don't feel the same way that you do. I think that, and it sounds so simple to say, but I know that when you have these feelings, it's really hard to bring them out because they leave you vulnerable. So I understand that. But honestly, you'll come to find that it is in fact as simple as telling someone how you feel about them. Just being honest, and don't think about it as gambling or taking a risk and getting rejected. It has nothing to do with that. It just has to do with you really, really like somebody and you want to let them know that you feel this way about them. It doesn't have to change the course of your relationship if they don't feel the same way. So what you can do is approach it in a manner that is more casual. Let them know how you feel. Be honest. Hey, we've been going out for quite some time, and I could really see us dating. I really like you as a friend, and I think you're awesome. You know what I mean? And just be honest about why you like this person, and then ask yourself, could you see the same thing between us? And if they say no, then that's okay. And it's gonna happen. Not everybody is meant to date each other, and not everybody is meant to love each other. That's just part of life. And I think that just being honest and forthcoming is already a huge step, and it's gonna take you places in the long run in your other relationships too in life. So just be honest and just ask. That's the most you can do. If they're your friend and things won't be awkward, you'll just say, all right, that's fine. Like, I was just curious, because that's how I've been feeling about you, And if you don't feel the same way, that's okay. We can continue doing, doing our usual thing. That's it. It's that simple. So yeah, that's my response to you, and I hope it works out. Alright, next question. Jtails, this is a weird one and I need some advice. Me and my brother play Smash 4 loads, but as soon as he went to university, there was a problem. I watched tournaments and your guides, and now I'm a way better player than him at the game. Uh-oh. For the few days he's been back, I realized I have had to play worse so we're still even. There's loads of combos and stuff I know that he has no idea about, so he doesn't even use aerials or anything. So I'm basically way better than him and playing as if we're still at the same level, so he doesn't get annoyed. If I played my best, I would beat him easily. It would be really dead and he'd probably be really annoyed. What do? Do I keep playing poorly to keep him happy? Because he's still really happy as long as we're at the same level. Or do I tell him I'm way better than him and risk him getting really annoyed? Well, thank you for writing into me, by the way. I appreciate it. I think that, so this is something that's troublesome, because you can get really, really good at something, and you might still want to have the same memories and the same connection that you do with the people that you used to play with, right? So, and it stinks because now you're gonna have to hold back, and it's not gonna be fun for you. It might be more fun for your brother, and I think you're doing a noble thing here. It's really does come from a good place what you're doing, but I think it's unfair to you. I think that maybe your brother will be annoyed that you're so good and that you're kicking his butt, but I think that he'll be proud of you. I think he'll be happy to see that you've been putting in all this time and effort and you've become this awesome Smash player. I would be proud. I would be annoyed at first, yes, but I would be so proud of my younger sibling if I know they've been putting so much time and effort into the game and I can't even touch them now. That's amazing. It's incredible. So I think that being honest with your brother, you shouldn't hide things from your brother. I think you should be honest, and maybe he'll be inspired. Maybe he'll figure out how to practice at the university and come back and be able to give you competition. So I think that being honest is the best solution here, so that you can start teaching him rather than holding back and he doesn't improve. You know what I mean? Like, he's staying down here and you're staying up here, but if you tell him, he could start rising up too and meeting you to the challenge, even though he's busy with university. Maybe not, but either way, maybe he could support you on your journey. And I think that hiding, playing at a lower skill level is noble, just to have a good time with your brother, but you guys could find other games to also have a good time with. I think being honest is the best solution here, and he would be proud of you if he saw how good you got, basically. So I think that, yeah, I think you should just show him and teach him, rather than you being bored and you playing less skillful, and then it's not fun for you, you know what I mean? So it's not the same kind of memory. Maybe you guys can bond in another way by you teaching him. That's another way you guys can bond together and have a fun time. So I think you should tell him, but that's just my opinion. So best of luck, and I hope it works out. Alright, next question. Sure. Okay, so this was a very, very long question that had many, many layers to it. But the shortened version is, my birthday was around the corner on September 13th, and my father decides to say at 11 p.m, just so you know, I didn't forget about your birthday. I just wanted you to feel the same when you don't call me. I love you. This was all in a text, no call. Right. So, the first thing I want you to understand is that, and this is something that took me a long time to realize, that our parents are human too. Our parents are insecure, or can be. Not saying they are, but our parents have flaws and weaknesses. So our parents, when we're growing up, we see them as these infallible people, infallible beings, whatever you want to call them, and we don't realize that they are weak. They can be weak, they can be vulnerable, they can make mistakes, they do have flaws. So I think that your dad just doesn't, it's not, I'm not saying what he's doing is right, but I want you to understand that, because my dad's a similar way sometimes, or used to be rather. He's gotten a lot better, but I think that rather than bottling up your emotion, try, sometimes you have to be the bigger person, so to speak, and if you give him a call or give him frequent calls, he'll see it as kind of like a bridge, right? An extension, and then he could meet you halfway. And I know, the question starts coming off as, well, why do I have to be the one to reach out to him? Why can't he reach out to me? You know what I mean? Because it takes two to tango, right? But I think that there's definitely some sort of hurt that he's feeling, and he's projecting it onto you because he feels like maybe you don't call him enough, but he still does love and care about you, as he said in his text, which I know is frustrating because you want to, you want that same level of, like kind of intimacy and effort, right? You want that same effort, but my biggest advice to you is to give it a try. Try calling your dad, weekly if you can. Set a reminder and see if he changes. See if he'll then start calling you, right? And let him know. Let him know that, hey, Dad, I know sometimes I forget and I'm forgetful for calling you, and it really hurt me when you just texted me for my birthday and you didn't give me a call. And I'm sorry that I've probably hurt you too when I forget to call you, in general or on special occasions. And I think you guys could be able to share something in that feeling and eventually come to an agreement, right? So like, this isn't working out. We're both hurting each other and kind of feeling resent. But let's figure out what we can do. Let's, alternate once a week and call each other. Let's, you know what I mean? Like, we don't want this kind of relationship. Let's work to have a more concise relationship. And try to eliminate your ego when doing this. Because if you have your ego talking and you feel like, why should I be the one to call him? Then you guys will never get anywhere. So I think you have to try and be the bigger person here and just come from a place of humbleness and just, just forget about everything and just say, hey, Dad, I want to talk to you, and just lay things down. And if he isn't receptive, which is possible, at least you tried, you know what I mean? So at least you won't be able to leave the situation saying, I didn't try, you know what I mean? So give that a try and let me know how it goes. I'll respond to the rest of your question in email because it was quite long. But thank you so much for writing into me today. I appreciate that. Alright, so we got 2 more, guys. Hopefully this video is not going to be too long. 13 minutes. Okay, yeah, it might be pretty long, but hopefully you guys are enjoying it and learning a little bit about everyone else's situations. And if you have a situation that you'd like to submit, please feel free to email me at JtailsTV. I'd be happy to try my best to help you out and to guide you. Alright, so next question. Watching your video inspired me to write this email. Thank you. I would like to remain anonymous. Really good friends with this girl for a while, a couple years now. Last year I went through a bit of a depressive state and started to feel all these emotions for things I didn't feel them for before. I developed a slight crush on her around that time, since I couldn't really control my emotions and didn't care to due to my situation. I guess she noticed. I guess she was going through something, because now from her best friend I'm informed that she's feeling like every friend of hers is just viewing her sexually. She started to push people away, including me. Pretty sure at this point she just plays along to this friendship thing because through various screenshots, I can tell she doesn't want to do anything when I'm around. We barely have more than 2 sentences of conversation anymore. I have long lost that crush, and I just want to reconnect that friendship, but I don't know how. If you could respond, that'd be great. Thanks. So this is a loaded question, and yeah, no, this is a tough situation. So right now we have somebody who feels like she's being perceived in a certain way by a group of people, right? By her friends, probably like her male friends, I'm guessing. And you know, whether it's true or not, this might be the case. Maybe a majority of her male friends are treating her like this and viewing her like this, which isn't a good feeling. You know, if you just want friendship and companionship and you don't want any of those other views and things, you just kind of just want to hang out. It's very hard to be comfortable doing that when these other thoughts are going through your mind, and you know, people are like flirting with you and you don't want that, or whatever else is going on, you know what I mean? So I think that you have to be very careful and sensitive of what this person's going through, because it's not easy to have everyone view you or actually you perceive that people are viewing you a certain way, and kind of you not being comfortable around people. So you have to be careful. But what you could do is make sure that she knows you're there for her. Make sure she knows that you still want a friendship with her. I understand she might not be responsive or receptive, and that's okay. But the best thing you could do is just be there for her. If ever she's going through something, having a hard time, try and be there as platonically as possible. You know, keep in mind the context of the situation and consider your words and actions that might make her think otherwise. And maybe after some time she'll realize that, hey, this person is actually just my friend and they don't view me in this way, and this is someone that I can depend on. Because right now her trust is broken. She does not have trust in many people. So you have to build that, and it's a very long and requires a lot of patience, which I think you have. Obviously you wrote to me and you cared enough to be advised about this, so I think you do have the patience and the capability to get through to her eventually. So yeah, my advice is don't give up, and you know, give her time, take your time obviously, and be patient. You know, it's a very frustrating thing when people misconstrue your intentions because you mean the best, but they might not see it that way. They might think something else, and that's frustrating too, I know. But you can't give up on the people you care about, because if you do, then what does it mean to care about somebody? You know what I mean? So don't give up, and you know, try and continue to be supportive and a good friend the way that I know you are, and yeah, and keep trying your best, and that's all you can do right now. And just be honest. Be like, you know, have a long talk and be like, hey, you know, I value our friendship, and I know that you feel this certain way about people viewing you, and I want you to know that I don't view you that way. And you might not believe me, and that's okay, because that's within your right now to not believe me. But I'll prove it to you. Give me a chance to prove it to you, and I will. So something along those lines. I think if you mean it, you'll be okay. So thank you for writing into me. Alright, next, last question, guys. So, hey Jtails, I'd like to stay anonymous, but I'm 23 and living with 2 friends from middle school while going to college. I don't know if you've had bad roommates before, but one of my roommates is horrible. he refuses to wear earphones, so I always have to drown out his YouTube videos and games while trying to study. He also only washes his dishes maybe once a week because he's busy with school, even though he's taking only like 8 units. I've tried to tell him about the earphones and dishes, but he always shrugs it off and doesn't pay attention. The other night at 2 a.m. he woke me up by yelling at people on Overwatch. When I asked him to keep it down, he told me to put earphones on. Wow. I'm trying to sleep, mind you. So yeah, I don't really know what else to do if he doesn't change my other roommate, and I will probably move out since the lease is up. Any advice would be helpful. Keep rocking. Thank you. Yeah, no, this is it's always tough when someone is not cooperative or necessarily mindful. It sounds like this person is a little bit selfish, which is unfortunate because it's hard for you guys to live peacefully, right? So, I mean, you kind of have to have a group chat with everyone in your housing, in your room or in your dorm, and everyone kind of be on the same page. And if everyone agrees with you, they can all tell him and give him their own 2 cents and say, hey, we don't like that you don't let us study. We don't like that, you know, you don't wash your dishes because you're too busy, but it only takes 5 minutes to wash dishes. So like, you know, the thing about dishes is that if you don't wash one, right, now you're gonna eat the next day, and if you don't wash that one, now you stack that there, and then eventually you'll have a big pile, and then you'll never want to wash it. So the thing is, you should let them know that if you just wash 1 or 2 of your dishes every day, it takes 3 to 5 minutes. That's no time at all, basically. So if you can do that, you know, like, maybe you just have to set shorter limits for him, which is unfortunate, and unfortunately it's not your responsibility to do that. But he might have had an upbringing where he didn't have to wash any dishes, and he didn't have to share anything. Maybe he's an only child. I don't know the situation, but I think that trying to meet him halfway, unfortunately, is your only bet here. And make a contract, or like, you know, like, hey, we just want to let you know that we don't appreciate how you've been coexisting with us as a roommate, and if you keep this up, we're just gonna leave and you're not gonna have a roommate. If you're okay with that, then carry on. If you do like us as roommates and you want to keep us, then please meet these expectations. And I think that's perfectly fair. I don't think that's anything for him to get mad about, because you're not asking for a lot. As for the studying, I mean, I guess sometimes, you know, maybe you guys can talk about a schedule. Maybe you guys, and I know it stinks because you want to study in your own room, but if you guys are sharing the space, maybe you want to do Tuesdays and Thursday nights, you go to the library, and then Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you get to study in your room, and he could go somewhere else to go play Overwatch or something, or he can wear headphones, and then Tuesday, Thursdays, he doesn't have to wear headphones, or the weekend, you know what I mean? So it's all about compromise and trying to work with people to try and understand their needs. And yeah, I mean, it's not an easy situation, but I do think that if he's going to continue to behave how he wants without regard for you guys, it's fair to just leave him and not really feel too bad about it. So yeah, thanks for writing into me. So guys, that being said, that's all the questions I have for today. Hopefully, once again, I woke up, wasn't able to sleep, and I figured that I'd make this video to try and give back to you guys who have been supporting my channel so much. And I'm sorry that I've been kind of bad with my uploading schedule, but if you guys don't mind like messy hair and like just kind of me winging it, I'd be happy to do more of these videos like when I wake up or something like that. I just kind of did this on a whim, and I wanted to get this out at this point in time, so hopefully you enjoyed it, and I would love to have you write to me if you have anything that you're going through right now, or if you need advice on something, and if you want to remain anonymous, that's fine too. You can write to me at JtailsTV@gmail.com. and I will try my best to feature you in the next video. If not, I'll respond to your question in email. Yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I'll see you all next time.